Good morning, everyone. Today we deal with this topic, otalgia. Otalgia means pain. Oto means ear. Okay, ear pain. Okay. Before that, I am Dr. Azmat, Assistant Professor, Department of ENT, CAMS RC. In this class, why ear pain happens? It is very common, right? In children and adults, ear pain is very common. And what are the causes and how you rule out, and what is the treatment option? Let us see one by one. So, with the definition, otalgia is pain in the ear. Okay, pain in the ear. And this pain, it can be due to local causes, or the pain may be referred from some other area. Why the pain referred from some other area? That is what we want to know. Okay, right. Before that, see how a pain carried out. Okay, in a simple way, it is by nerves, right? Nerves are nerve endings. So if you know the nerve supply of the ear, then you know the answer. In a simple way, if you know the nerve supply of the ear, you know the reason for the ear pain. And if the ear is normal, then you should look for the cause for ear pain, from where the pain is originated. So for that you should know the causes, and you should know the in detail anatomical nerve supply of the pinna, external ear and tympanic membrane. Right, let us see the nerve supply of the pinna. This is not only important for the exam, it is also important for the clinical practice, and it is very important for the pre-PG entrance. Whatever exam you write, whether it is UK exam, Australian board exam, whatever the exam you write, this nerve supply will come with you. Okay, they will ask damn sure this question. Without this question, there won't be any paper. Okay, for our pre-PG entrance exams, all AIIMS and now NEET. Okay, previously it was our APPG exam, now it is NEET exam. All these exams, damn sure they will have this question. Okay, and for our third year exam also, they will ask this for 2 marks question. What is the nerve supply of the pinna or nerve supply of the ear? You should draw this diagram and you should explain this in detail. If they ask for 2 marks, you should draw this diagram. Okay, so for that, what is the nerve supply of the pinna? See, here for the pinna, there are 5 important nerves. That is greater auricular nerve, lesser occipital nerve, and auriculotemporal nerve, auricular branch of vagus nerve, and facial nerve. Okay, which part they supplied by which nerve, it is also important. Okay, first thing, the great auricular nerve. Okay, great auricular nerve, the name itself, great and auricle, the great auricular nerve, it supplies most of the medial aspect. See the second diagram B. Diagram B is the medial side, means inside. So the most of the medial aspect of the pinna is supplied by great auricular nerve, and when it comes to lateral aspect, the outside, lateral means the outside the ear, where the most of the posterior aspect of the pinna, that is helix, antihelix, okay, all these, and lobule of the ear, all these are supplied by the greater auricular nerve. Okay, so most of the medial aspect and the most of the lateral part are the posterior most part of the lateral part is supplied by the greater auricular nerve. Here the greater auricular nerve, the root value also important. It is C2 C3. Okay, C2 C3 is great auricular nerve's root value. So here the one more important point I want to stress here is from where this great auricular nerve comes. C2 C3, okay, that is root value. From where it comes, where it originates? It originates from the cervical plexus. So this is very important. This is also a very important MCQ. Greater auricular nerve comes from cervical plexus. And then auriculotemporal nerve. Auriculotemporal nerve, it supplies most of the tragus, okay, or tragus, crus of helix, and the adjacent part of the helix to the area. In a simple way, it supplies the anterior part of the lateral aspect of the pinna. Okay, the diagram shows the anterior part. It is supplied by auriculotemporal nerve. Okay, here the most important point is auriculotemporal nerve is a branch of, that is more important. See, V3 here. What is V3? V is fifth cranial nerve. Okay, it is fifth cranial nerve. It is trigeminal nerve. So trigeminal has ophthalmic, maxillary and mandibular branches, right? So this auriculotemporal nerve, it comes from the mandibular branch of the trigeminal nerve. So this is important MCQ. Here you want to stress and you want to note it down that it comes from mandibular or it comes from trigeminal nerve. Okay, right. When it comes to lesser occipital nerve, lesser occipital nerve, it supplies the upper part of the medial aspect of the pinna. Okay, it supplies the upper part of the middle aspect of the pinna. So here one more important point I want to stress is, again, this lesser occipital nerve it comes from, or it originates from the cervical plexus. So the root value is C2. I don't know what you do. You have to by heart and you have to learn. You have to practice these diagrams also. If I am in your classroom and if I am in your practical class, damn sure I will make you to draw these diagrams, and I will give you imposition for 10 or 20 times to draw these diagrams. Okay, if you write all these structures, if you write all these nerve supplies also without drawing the diagram, I will give you only 1 mark out of 2. If you draw only diagram without writing anything, I will give you 2 out of 2 marks. If you draw the diagram, you need not to tell anything. The picture tells the tale. That's it. Okay. So here this diagram is very, very important. If you don't know, now at least you know, and you put 5 or 6 stars around this pinna diagram and you start learn it. Okay. Right. Again the pinna, the fourth nerve is supplied, the auricular branch of vagus nerve. Vagus is 10th cranial nerve, right? So it is also called as Arnold nerve. Arnold. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold nerve. right, and it supplies most of the concha and the corresponding eminence. Okay, concha. Here I want to ask you one question. This question I was asked by someone in UK in Viva. A male patient come to you and he has wax in the ear. You try to remove that wax. While manipulating his pinna and external artery canal, that patient suddenly started coughing. What is the cause for that cough? So you are irritating the vagus nerve, right, with the ulnar nerve. You are irritating the vagus nerve, which causes for the cough while you are cleaning the external artery canal. This is very important bit. Very important MCQ. Why you get a cough while you are cleaning the external artery canal? Because the concha and the adjacent external artery canal is supplied by the ulnar nerve, that is vagus nerve, auricular branch of vagus nerve. Okay, and the final part here is facial nerve. It is also distributed with the fibers of auricular branch of vagus along with this, and it supplies to the concha and retroauricular groove. Can you see this here in this diagram? See the medial side, the B diagram, the second diagram. Can you see this? The retroauricular or posterior groove. That groove is supplied by the facial nerve. Okay. Here I want to tell you one important point here. That is Hestelberger sign. Hitzelberger, Hestelberger sign. What is Hestelberger sign and where you will see? Hestelberger sign you will see in acoustic neuroma. What is acoustic neuroma? Later on I will tell you. Don't worry about it. In this, the tumor involves the 7th cranial nerve. Okay. So due to involvement of the 7th cranial nerve, there will be a loss of sensory fibers of the 7th cranial nerve. That's why you will have a hypoesthesia or loss of sensation over the posterior meatal wall. So that is supplied by facial nerve, isn't it? So that paresthesia of the posterior meatal wall or that groove is called as Hestelberger sign. This is also a very important MCQ. Many times they have asked what is Hestelberger sign and which nerve involvement causes Hestelberger sign. Okay, so this is also a important point. So here I finish here the nerve supply of the pinna. 5 nerves you have to by heart, you have to learn, and you have to mug up whatever you do. But whenever I ask, you should able to tell this answer. Okay. So next comes to the nerve supply of the external artery canal. Again, the anterior, see in this diagram, the anterior part and the roof is supplied by, again it is supplied by auriculotemporal nerve. That is auriculotemporal nerve is a branch of mandibular branch of trigeminal nerve. Okay. Again the posterior wall and the floor is supplied by ulnar nerve. Ulnar nerve is nothing but a auricular branch of vagus nerve, and the posterior wall, the remaining posterior wall of the artery canal is supplied by cranial nerve 7th. Okay. I told you na you have a loss of sensation, hypoesthesia of the external artery canal and postauricular groove, that is called as Hestelberger sign. And due to this external artery canal have a nerve supply of vagus, that's why whenever you clean the external artery canal you will get a cough. Okay, so if you don't believe, just try to clean your external artery canal, you will get cough. Okay. Don't do it, it may damage your ear canal or tympanic membrane. Right. So this is nerve supply of external aortic canal. And the nerve supply of the tympanic membrane. Again, the tympanic membrane anterior half of the lateral surface. It has again medial surface and lateral surface. Lateral surface is nothing but outer surface, right? What you see via the otoscope. The medial surface, the inside, the lateral wall of the middle ear cavity. So the outer surface, it is supplied by again the auricular temporal nerve and auricular branch of vagus nerve. Here the inner surface, the medial surface of the tympanic membrane is supplied by cranial nerve 9, that is glossopharyngeal nerve. The tympanic branch of glossopharyngeal nerve, it is called as Jacobson nerve. Jacobson, Jacobson nerve. Okay, Arnold nerve, Jacobson nerve. Arnold nerve is a branch of vagus, and the Jacobson nerve is from glossopharyngeal. All these two they supply. Okay, for tympanic membrane, it is supplied by the inner ear, the inner surface. Sorry, the inner surface it is supplied by Jacobson nerve, and the outer surface auricular temporal nerve and auricular branch of vagus nerve, that is Arnold nerve. Okay, this is very, very, very important. You have to by heart and you have to know what it is and what is what. Right. Now you come to the main part, that is otologia. Why ear pain happens? Right. So the local causes, I start by doing these with external causes, external ear causes and middle ear causes. Okay. Right. Before that, most of the patients, I cannot start I cannot go forward without telling this. The most commonly what I have seen in my OPD daily practice, the most common cause is the pain is due to trauma. Okay, they manipulate the ear canal, they manipulate the external aortic canal, they manipulate the pinna for some itching or some whatever the reason. They may damage their external aortic canal and they may damage sometimes tympanic membrane also. I have seen n number of cases where they have presented here with the tympanic membrane perforation. They clean with the earbud, or the most common tool which you use for clean your ear is, what is that? Your keychain, okay, or your car keys or your bike keys. Okay, that is the most common tool which you use, or they used to clean with the pen refill. Okay, they used to clean the ear with the refill or with the bent pin. Okay, right, these are the common tools which you use for clean the ear, and obviously they cause damage to the ear. When comes to, apart from the trauma, when comes to local causes, for the external aortic canal or external, the first diagram is, that is furuncle. What is furuncle? It is a inflammation of the hair root. You have hairs in the hair follicles in the outermost part of the external aortic canal. If you have inflammation of that hair root, you will be having furunclosis. That is called as furunclosis. The most common bacteria here is that Staphylococci. Okay, Staphylococci is the most common culprit. So for the treatment of this furunclosis, you should give a very good antibiotic that works for Staphylococci infection, and a very good painkiller like paracetamol or aceclofenac. And sometimes you should give a hot fomentation also. And the second diagram, which shows a vesicles over the tympanic membrane, that is nothing but bullous meningitis. Bullous meningitis is caused by influenza or mycoplasma, and it is due to, most of the time it is due to viral infection, and again it causes severe pain, and you should treat promptly with the symptomatic relief with the anti-inflammatory and painkillers. And the third one is most common you can see is this fungal infection of the external artery canal. That is nothing but, that is also called as otomycosis. A fungal infection of the ear is called as otomycosis. And the fourth one is tumors of the external artery canal and pinna. Okay, any tumor and anything that causes, it may cause ear pain. And the fourth one is, fifth one is, can you see the vesicles over the external artery canal? That is herpes zoster. Okay, that is herpes zoster, which causes severe excruciating pain in the external artery canal. And the next one is earwax. The impacted earwax, it causes pain. Okay, and the final one is otitis externa, any inflammatory process due to viral, bacterial, whatever the reason, you will be having a severe pain in the external artery canal. Why pain is severe in external artery canal means the skin overlying the bone is very taut and very thin, so any damage, it causes severe pain. Okay, and the nerve supply is very rich. Okay, next, these are only few causes. There are many causes. I'll tell you, if you can write 5 or 6 in each, that is more than sufficient. Anyway, these otalgia, they won't ask you as essay question. They are most commonly, if they ask 2 marks, or in the worst situation they may ask for 4 marks question. So you write, you remember few of the reasons, that is more than sufficient. Okay, and when it comes to the biliary causes, see, the first diagram you know very well, that is acute mastocytitis is the complication of CSOM, intratemporal complication of CSOM. Okay, and the second one is, can you see that there is a fluid? Okay, and due to blockage of the eustachian tube, okay, you will have otitis media, serous otitis media. Okay, serous otitis media, child presents to you with severe pain. Okay, and then in ASOM also, the etiology, main etiology is due to blocked eustachian tube only. The third one is, can you see a friable and proliferative mass in the external artery canal? That is nothing but squamous cell carcinoma, and squamous cell carcinoma of the middle ear, and some other tumors of the middle ear. What are the tumors? Later classes you can know, and these causes also you will be having a severe pain. Okay, and the fourth diagram, that is otitis media with effusion. The child presents to you with ear pain. The next one is ASOM, acute suppurative otitis media, in the stage of congestion, stage of pre-suppuration, suppuration, and stage of resolution. Except stage of resolution, all these 3 stages you will be having severe pain. And sometimes extradural, any complication of the CSOM, that is extradural abscess, subdural abscess, all these they present to you with the ear pain, like zygomatic abscess. Okay, all these complications they present to you with the pain. Most of the time CSOM, which is tubotympanic with the complications, or tubotympanic or aticoantral disease with the complications, they present to you with the pain. Here no problem, everyone they can write what is the local causes, but here I want to tell you, I want to stress my focus on referred causes. Okay, referred pain. So the first one is via dental. Okay, so any dental infection like caries teeth, apical abscess, and third impacted molars and malocclusion, they all are the teeth is mainly supplied by the trigeminal, branches from the trigeminal nerve, 5th nerve, isn't it? That is auriculotemporal, and branches from the mandibular nerve. When you have any problem in the teeth, the same nerves also supplies the pinna, right, and external artery canal. So this causes pain in the external artery canal. So whenever you are examining the patient, when you see if there is any if you see while examining, if you see the external artery canal, pinna and tympanic membrane is normal, then you should look for all these for the any pathology which causes ear pain, that is referred otology. Okay, I think I am very clear. For example, if I have, you know, pain in the ear, severe pain, and your CR is examining on me, okay, and if you see the external artery canal, pinna, tympanic membrane, everything is normal. From where the pain is coming from, then you have to look for all these like neck, tongue, larynx, you know, oral cavity, you know, you have to look all these for the pathology. Okay, from there the pain is referring to external artery canal and pinna. So that is called as referred otology. Okay, right. When it comes to oral cavity, again the benign and malignant ulcerative lesions of the oral cavity and tongue. Okay, and the temporomandibular joint disorders. The temporomandibular disorders like bruxism, osteoarthritis of the joint, okay, recurrent dislocations and ill-fitting dentures. These are all may irritate the ear via the fifth nerve. Okay. Next, via ninth cranial nerve. Again, the ninth cranial nerve which also supplies the tonsils. Okay, in acute tonsillitis, acute peritonsillar abscess or peritonsillitis, and following tonsillectomy, and benign and malignant tumors of the soft palate, tonsils and the pillars, associated pillars. Whenever you have a problem with this, sometimes you may be having ulcers, aphthous ulcers over the palate and anterior posterior pillars. These ulcers, they may cause irritation in the ear via the ninth cranial nerve, and you will be having ear pain. Okay, and again the base of the tongue, like, you know, any malignancies, any tumors, okay, any glossitis, and then the enlarged styloid process, that is also called as Eagle syndrome. The enlarged styloid process which also causes pain in the ear via the ninth cranial nerve. Okay, what is the nerve supply of the tongue? The anterior part is supplied by the anterior part is supplied by, for the taste is chorda tympani, and for the general sensation it is lingual nerve, and the posterior part is supplied by general sensation and everything glossopharyngeal nerve. The posterior most part is supplied by vagus nerve. So glossopharyngeal nerve and vagus nerve and chorda tympani both are interlinked, and they may have fellow fibers in the ear external artery canal, so they may cause pain in the external artery canal and pinna. Okay, for the via 10th cranial nerve, any malignancy and ulcerative lesions of the vallecula, epiglottis, larynx, laryngopharynx and esophagus, you will be having pain in the ear. For example, if an elder patient comes to you with the ear pain, you have to have examined his larynx. Without examining his larynx, you should not send him. Why? Because if he has a tumor in the piriform fossa, if he has a ulcer in the piriform fossa, if you miss it, if you just simply treat the external artery canal with the analgesic, you may miss the tumor in the piriform fossa or tumor in the larynx, and it causes a severe damage to the patient. Why? Because later on he may comes to you with the second or third or final stage of the cancer, isn't it? So you have to identify the lesion in early stages. That's why you have to do a thorough examination. Again, you have nerve supply from the cervical plexus. That's why you will be any irritation, cervical spondylitis, any neck pain, any neck pathology, it may cause referred pain in the ear. Okay, and these nerve supplies from C2 C3 spinal nerves, right? So any injury to cervical spine and caries spine also, port spine, anything, it may cause pain in the in the external aortic canal. Apart from this cause, you will be having a psychogenic causes where if you do a meticulous thorough examination of all these systems and you don't discover anything, it may be a functional in origin. Okay, and you have to put that patient in the for the periodic observation, and you should evaluate further. Okay, right. Here I want to tell you one important point is ear pain or otalgia is a symptom, it is not a sign. Okay, it is not a diagnosis. Otalgia is not a diagnosis. Otalgia or ear pain is a symptom with which he present to you. Okay, with the ear pain that patient will present to you, that is a symptom, but never ever a diagnosis. You cannot diagnose like that patient diagnosed as otalgia. Okay, you should not diagnose, or it is not a sign where you should. It is not a tenderness, right? You are not eliciting the tenderness. So the otalgia is a symptom. So you have to look the cause. You have to investigate the cause. Okay, you have to find out the cause from where the ear pain comes from. Okay, so without diagnosing the patient, don't send. Without doing a meticulous examination, don't send the patient with writing a simply a analgesic. Okay, it may cause serious damage to the patient. Okay, so this is my class. If any doubts, please get back to me with the message or WhatsApp. Thank you. Here one important point. I told you the temporomandibular arthritis, that is also called as Costin syndrome. This is asked as MCQ in AIIMS exam. What is Costin syndrome? So the Costin syndrome is nothing but that is due to abnormality of the temporomandibular joint, and the pain is severe and it is unilateral. So this is also a MCQ. Okay, that pain causes in the ear also. So that is Costin syndrome. So this was asked actually in the AIIMS exam. That's why I have kept this slide.